This is good. Very, very good. I know you are going to just love it. Do you see that? The pecans, the pineapple, every bit in here is like a scoop of just goodness. I know you will love this. Well, hello there. Welcome once more to Choice Kitchen. And if this is your first time stopping by, I would like to say a very warm welcome to you. Dear friends, today I'm sharing with you the recipe for this crowd-pleasing, decadent, moist carrot cake. This one is a keeper, I tell you. Everybody I have served it to love it. I take it to every potluck that I'm invited to, I'm going to be part of. I know you will love it. I hope this is just in time for the holidays and you will make this for you and your loved ones. Come along with me and see how I did this. So the good thing about having homemade carrot cake is you get to have real carrots in there. And I always like to grate my own carrot at home. So we're going to start grating our carrots. Of course, you can use a regular grater to do this. You can even buy grated carrot from the grocery store and use. The most important thing is you're making a homemade carrot cake with real carrots. So I'm going to measure 3 cups of carrots, the grated carrots. And yes, I always heap up my cup like that. I always figure there's a lot of air pockets in this cup of grated carrots, so I heap it up. The more the better. And that's a lot of grated carrots, but you can use this to make fried rice, or you can just save it in the freezer and use it another time. That's actually what I did. So for my actual Thanksgiving, I'm going to use the rest. So 3 cups right here. So this recipe calls for 4 large eggs, which I have here, and I'm just going to crack them up. Now we'll set this aside and focus on getting the dry ingredients ready. In a mixing bowl, combine your flour, baking soda, salt, and cinnamon powder. Mix everything. Then set this aside. So in a large mixing bowl, combine your sugar, vegetable oil, then you cream this. Just about a minute. Now I'm going to be adding my eggs gradually. Gradually add your flour, the dry ingredients, mix this until everything is very well combined until you get a beautiful paste. Then you add in your grated carrots. At this point, you can choose to use a spatula to stir or keep on whisking with like I'm doing. And I'm also going to be adding some pineapple chunks. This is like a 3/4 cup of fresh pineapple chunks. It is not really a part of the original recipe. I tried this last Thanksgiving actually, and this was so good. So I'm going to add this. Feel free to omit that if you don't like pineapple and keep everything else at the same measurements. It's going to be perfect. I just added 1.5 cups of chopped pecans. And yes, I'm going to list everything here for you in the description box as well. So I'm going to mix until everything is very well combined, just like this, and voila, our batter is done. I'm just going to use this spatula to make sure that I scrape everything. Sometimes you have some sticking in the bottom of your pot looking like a paste, which is not really well combined, having everything in a balance. So I'm trying to make sure everything is very perfect in my bowl before I pour it out. In here I have my baking pans. These are 9-inch round baking pans. I am just spraying them with some baking spray. You could use some butter and dust it with some flour like most people would do. I like my cooking spray. And so I'm going to pour my butter in here. You're trying to divide this into 3. So make sure you could use a ladle to scoop so you have it balanced, or you could weigh it, but I'm just using my eye to gauge. Just look at that going like melting lava. I could watch this all day. Just beautiful. Actually very therapeutic. What do you say? Tap your baking pans on your countertop like this. This will help eliminate all air bubbles so your cake bakes beautifully. And at this point my oven is preheated at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I bake this in it for 40 minutes. 40 to 45 minutes depending on how your oven works. And 40 minutes later our cake is done. Just look at that. Set your pans on a cooling rack and let this rest for about 2 to 5 minutes. I only did about 2, and then you flip it. If you're not too sure that the cake is coming out smoothly, just tap on the bottom of your pan like I did so it doesn't come out, falling apart. And look at that. Is that not just gorgeous? So I'm going to flip everything over and allow these to cool completely before we frost them. All right, now let's focus on the frosting. So I have here my powdered sugar, or confectioner's sugar. I'm going to pour it right here into a mixing bowl. I have butter. This is salted butter, Kerrygold, my preferred, of course. It is soft, so room temperature butter. So this is 1 cup bar. I'm going to cut a half of that. Very soft, as you can see. So we're going to start off by creaming the sugar and the butter. And you could just as well start with everything all together and it's still going to be fine. I'm going to add in my cream cheese now. These are 2 8-ounce block of Philadelphia cream cheese. You can use any cream cheese that you prefer, of course. And these are softened, but not all the way room temperature. The butter, you want it to be very, very soft. So I'm going to cream now the cream cheese, butter, and sugar. So I'm going to be adding in here a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Scrape the edges of your bowl just to make sure that all the parts that are not well mixed up get in the center, and you're able to whisk everything so your frosting comes out perfect. You want to end up with your frosting looking something like this, beautiful, pillowy. This is just how you want it to be. So at this point, we are done making our frosting, and it's time to put that on our cake. So this is going to be a layered cake. So I'm going to start layering it right here. This is going to be the very first layer. One thing about my cakes, don't expect too much. They're never straight. So I always tell people, don't judge it by the look. Just taste it first. I'm just going to put a big dollop of the cream cheese here. Spread it. This layer is what is going to form a sandwich and also to glue or secure your cakes together. If you like a lot of frosting, you would want to make this a little bit thicker than I have, but for me this is perfect. So apply that layer. Be mindful that carrot cakes, when they are baked, can be very crumbly. It has all these nuts, the carrots and everything in there. So be careful when you put your dollop of frosting on it so you don't end up making crumbs, too many crumbs. It's very difficult not to make crumbs, but just be gentle as you stack them together. And now I'm going to apply the very last layer, just like that. So we're now going to cover our top layer and all the sides of our cake with the rest of the frosting. Smear it on like this. Be gentle, like I said. You don't want to just have too many crumbs coming into the frosting. So you try to put a little layer first, spread it all over and all over the edges. And once that is covered, you can go ahead and apply the rest until your cake looks as beautiful as you can make it. This is a homemade cake. We cannot be like the professionals, but we want the cake to taste good and look a little bit decent. That is all you want to do. I've come to find out that using a turntable while you frost your cake makes it a lot easier than just having it sit on a plate. That is what I used to do, but then it's hard for you to swell your cake to be able to apply the frosting. This is very inexpensive, so if you be making cakes a lot, I am everybody's cake lady, so I thought it was just as well that I get one, and this is way under $15. So if that helps, you can get one for yourself as well. Maybe this is going to be such a hit that everybody's going to be asking you to make it over and over again. Once you're done applying all the frosting onto your cake, it is time for you to smoothen it out to make it look beautiful. Like I said, we're not professionals, so try your very possible best, and that should be enough for a homemade cake. See, keep on going. We really get in there. So I'm just trying to make sure that I cover as much of the cake as possible. But even looking at it now, I think it is perfect. You know how you have naked cake. So you could have it with a little bit of the carrot cake showing like that. Make a very thin film if that is what you like. And of course, that means you would have had thicker amount of the frosting in between the layers. It's looking good for me now, and at this point I am telling myself we are in great shape for the shape we are in. If you are more on the skilled side, then go ahead and try to smoothen it out more, make it more beautiful. But I think for my standard, this is okay. And I'm going to put some nuts on it as well, so that will help even out stuff a little bit. So I have a cup, half a cup actually of chopped pecans more here. You can toast it a little bit. I didn't toast it, but toasted always makes it even taste better. And I'm just going to try to make a circle with that on the surface of my cake, and I'll also make a little layer on the bottom when I'm done, just to make it look a little bit more, you know, something like you got from the store. I really think this is the facelift that the cake needed. What do you think? And now I'm going to go on the bottom as well and make a nice ring around the edges of our cake, and that will be done. Yes, please put all the love you possibly can put on that cake or in this cake, and let everybody that you serve this know that this really came all the way from your heart. This is probably the most beautiful I've ever had my carrot cake decorated. Seriously, the taste is always the same. Of course, that is the thing with baking, but this, I think I've really done my possible best. And if you really agree, please give me a thumbs up to cheer me up. And at this point, our cake is done. So now this goes into the fridge. And it stayed in the fridge overnight because it was very late when we finished making it. And now let's see how we did. Homemade has never been this perfect. Just look at this. Just take a look. Are you with me? Are you really with me? Here is the review. Perfection. And now let's cut another piece for the guy behind the camera, okay? He can't wait to have a slice too. Do you see that? Oh yeah. How beautiful. I really hope you are able to try this. And now it is time for the verdict. See the carrot? Real bits of carrots in here. The pecans. Glad you like it.
Love it.
The pineapple, if you love pineapple, you will love this. You can take out the pineapple for sure, but this is so good. I tell you, this is the recipe you've been waiting for. This is good. Very, very good. I really hope you are able to try this. I know you will love it. Thanks for watching. Kindly like and share this video. And until I come your way next time with something delicious, be loving, be kind, be happy.